As you can hear, I'm playing some arcade music from, when I was a wee lad. This is from that game Outrun. So, yeah, Outrun was a really good arcade game. You gotta drive like a red, I think it's like a red Corvette or something like that, and you have like this, this blonde chick on the other shoulder, on the other on the passenger side. It's a two-seater car. Yeah, it's like Ferrari or whatever, and you're driving, and that's the game. You gotta dodge cars and stuff. That game it just blew on my mind when I was a kid seeing that in the arcade. So that was cool. And I think they have versions out now, so you can check it out. Yeah, but that's what this music is. So if you know about this, hey, a nice little trip down memory lane. So we're just gonna have some Outrun playing. I'm gonna try to play some classic video game themes in the background as we do some modeling. So we're gonna get back into modeling some of this this building, and hopefully get to the texturing part of it also. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's model this gate building up. Start adding in some things to make it look cool. I would like to animate. There's a centerpiece in there. I think it should be animated. This little kind of orb thing. And what would be awesome if we could reach to a point where we could actually dump this into the game engine, which may be the next stream. But I like seeing developing the previous streams, developing the bad guy, revamping that bad guy, putting him, getting him ready, and then putting him in the game engine and seeing him move about, which is pretty cool. And now we're doing it here with a building. And hopefully after all this, we might change the format of the xsinick show to not just include game assets for the game Soul 3000. It might include a couple other things, and we might shift it to a different time because times are changing here, and I don't know if me doing the modeling is the most interesting thing and stuff like that, but it's something I like to do. I think probably drawing is nicer. Maybe it's about drawing. Probably I draw for 2 hours or something like that. Not sure. We'll see. But in the meantime, let's get back to doing some modeling in Blender here. Hey, I just want to shout out all the recent followers to the xsinick show. I just want to big you up, and all my regular followers. Just want to big you guys up also. Thanks for following me. And thanks for contributing also. A lot of people from time to time will jump in and chat with me a little bit, so that me shifting around points and squares is not as boring as it as sometimes it gets, and that kind of thing. Yeah, so definitely want to big up 1x verse. 1x verse, thanks for following me. Melissa Toast, of course, rated me the other day, and that's awesome. I also Miesel. Miesel is one person that joined on here, and I just want to big up Miesel. I want to big up B3112. Just followed me. Thanks. The people following me actually helps the channel. So if you watch me even after the fact, and you watch me offline, just get a free Twitch account if you don't already have one, and just follow me. It's gonna help. You don't have to be on the live. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to try to get a little comfortable here in real life. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we could do. So with this game, I gotta take some aspects of it kind of a little bit serious. Okay, we got this blank polygon thing, and I don't think it's doing much, so if we could spice this up, I think we'll be winning. What if I make a line that cuts right through here and separate this part? So it's kind of like let's deal with the door, with the entrance and the exit, and maybe this line here is also a cut. If we split that, make a seam in here. Wow, this brings back memories. Wow. Man, what a great score. Yeah, back to simpler times. Something like that. Man, they did a real good job with this soundtrack. This is a screen where you get to sign your name. That's where this music is from. Man, it's Japanese people made this Sega. This is Sega. Like the score on this is just amazing. My hope with this channel is that it brings some sort of relaxation to you. I know sometimes I play really exciting music, but or hyper music, I would say. Let's call it exciting. Hope I can read you guys' mood. Oh snap, that's hot. It's a real good composer, man. Make it sound real like festive and Caribbean like. Really good music. Just breaking up the shapes in here, the form in here. Wow. Wow, it's a really good arrangement. Dun, dun, dun. 0.01. One? No. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna make this corrugated, you know, with some lines through here. I like this effect here. It kind of gives it like a slight kind of offshoot. Zero point 0.05. Some of these Japanese composers, like the people who made the Outrun music right here, it's just amazing.
Let's throw that up on the screen.
I bring that in a little bit. Just gonna try to even it out. Something like so. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's that Caribbean vibe right there. Wow. Amazing. Amazing music. Oh, is that it? Let's get something else.
Do you remember the first time Gimp?
Let's try this Chrono Cross. Let's see, get some more relaxing music here. Yeah, let's see how this looks. Okay, you know, we start to give the inside here a little bit of interest. Need to make the seam there. Wow. I remember this song right here, when Chrono Cross came out, when we saw the animation for it, it blew us away. When I say us, I mean me and my brothers. It's like, what? Wow. Amazing music. Okay, see. It would have been nice if I thought ahead of time to make a reverse image of this shape going back up here. I think that would like totally mark the door, the entrance. Let's see if we can get lock in on here. I'm gonna try to slice this and then I'll slice this section here and then reflect. Yeah, and then do a reverse up. How would I do that? This whole section needs to. Okay. I think I'm understanding. Man, what beautiful music. Wow. It's amazing. Wow. If you read the scripture and you're just listening to me, this is some music from a game
Fall
called
is in the air
Chrono
at
Cross.
Tim Hortons. The rich aroma
Oop,
of
not
the
this
maple
part
syrup.
here. Little ads popped in there. But yeah. Dun, 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 dun. separate the lights in here. Okay. Checking it out. Just go P, separate the lights there. Let's go back. What is that? Something emerged? Oh, there's an error. Delete. You know what? Probably from like that Boolean. Didn't quite get everything all nice and squared up here. So like so. Maybe make this the same thing. Okay, so it's definitely maybe that wall back there shouldn't be corrugated. Maybe it should just be flat and the sides is corrugated leading up to that. Yeah, I think that shouldn't be corrugated, that should be flat. So you gotta view this stuff as if like you're entering into the room. Let's flatten all those out.
I was born with spina bifida.
Yep. No ads. Sorry about that, guys. see now. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Maybe this part here is separate and all this is one piece. I like to kind of separate it by materials a little bit. These need to straighten. Okay, let's take a look again. Okay, so this wall here and that wall should be all the same. Let's merge that. Take a look again. Oh yeah, let's do a render in this and see what this looks like. Let's render this. Yeah, all of a sudden, like right up in here, there's a little more focus to the entrance also. And then the walls on the side seem like, okay, something. Hey, hey, Misel, how's it going? Oh, the hole wasn't there? Yeah, it wasn't there. Definitely. Hey, how's your day going? Nice to hear from you. Nice to see you. Yep, hole wasn't the hole was not here at all. Yeah, so I put that hole in. Actually, coming on to the end of the last stream, I put a hole in. I was just working on the walls here. I think I may be ready to start throwing some textures down on this thing here, on this building. Just double checking to make sure if we can do one more thing to it. Okay, so the question is, can I snazzy up these floors? Make these floors just a little bit more interesting. Let's see here. Ooh, is all this one piece? Okay, we definitely want to separate the floor there. There we go. Wait a minute. Undo that. Let's do it again. Oh, you like the topology of that? Oh man, yeah. I worked on that one. I wasn't too sure if it would have worked out, but I guess it did. Hey, well, You might know this, but you know, you definitely gotta pick your battles when it comes to this, some of this stuff. Okay, let's select the let's select the floor here. Just double checking, making sure the floor is the only thing you got selected. You don't want to separate it. P. Let's go back into shaded mode. And let's bring back everything. Okay, so floor is separate. This floor should flow into the floor on the outside also. I'm thinking I want a seam around the edge here. What do you think?
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear.
Nope. That's another ad. Let's do one more. Okay, let's just go right ahead. I'm just gonna lay some cuts down with a knife tool. So let's restrict it. No, it's not restricted as yet. Let's do that over again. Okay, let's do it now. Now let's cut right there. We'll figure out the rest. I'm gonna cut across this way also. Just saying hello to you.
Hello, my friend.
And everyone else who's just checking me out here. Okay, we just kind of clean that up a little bit. There's some cleanup. Let's go like that. Nomad Fan Zero said I should have a lot more calmer music, and I'm trying here with some of this Chrono Cross stuff. Okay. Okay, we're almost there. That's a measuring called eyeballing. You can see where it's where it needs adjustment. Oh, you have to learn optimized topology. So I'm guessing, do you do like a lot of high poly stuff? I'm the first breed that created low poly unoptimized stuff. Hey. That's cool. Low poly unoptimized stuff. I like that. Okay, let's see if we can get this beveled here. I'm just gonna jump out here and just kind of look at this. See how this is hanging off the thing there. Let's kind of put that back over here last. Okay, let's see. Bam, bam. This kind of ugly sits there. So let's grab that and go along the z-axis. Sorry, the y. Straighten that out so it's like so. Not quite right. Let's put that back. I guess that's fine. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Unoptimized low poly stuff. I like that. Feel free to share either images or links to any of your work, man. You know, we definitely. Matter of fact, there's a section for art at the beginning of the stream there, where I show, like, you know, any artwork that, you know, anyone who watches me may you know, may be doing themselves. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, as long as it's, you know, it's not X-rated or anything like that. Okay, let's take a look at this. So I got something kind of outlining the room here. Notice how this ends right there. Technically this poly shouldn't be like this. Let's delete that. Let's make a new one. Something like that. Like this. Let's get this. Oops. Let's get this one first. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was a feat just to get that little seam in there to make sense. Wow. Okay. Let's take another look through the render and see if we could see any differences here. Maybe not much. I'll have to angle the camera up. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, seems like I'm inside of something. Shot a bit. Yeah, is it topology is the definition of how simple stuff doesn't automatically mean it's easy. Wow. Oh, this song is great, I think. Oh yeah, this song is great. Hey, I totally agree with you, Miesel. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Is it Miesel or Micel? Is it Micel or Miesel? First, A or B? Micel, and B is Miesel. Which one? I think you're right. And the whole low poly thing. Okay, let's put some light on the thing. Honestly, that's my intended pronunciation. Oh, B. Okay. I used to people calling me. That's a A and B. Hey, I'll probably call you both, right? I might go between both of them. This is an interesting view. No, bird's eye is your favorite? Mine's too. Let's grab a shot. Let's grab a shot and throw like a little concept down for this. Let's resolve a little bit here. Okay, let's grab a shot of this. Screenshot. Let's go in a little closer before we do that, before we make the screenshot. Oh. Let's go on the other side. Do we see the guy on the other side? Oh yeah, the guy's there. So I think this is a more dramatic shot right here. Go up a little bit. Probably something like this. Let's do something like that. Oh, you know what? Let's save this here. I'm gonna go into another view. And let's just do these lights real quick. I'm just gonna drop that light material on them. Whoa, all of a sudden it blasts. Am I the only guy mod? Yeah, so far, yeah. There's not a whole lot of levels. It's only 7 levels in the game. And I have all of them kind of mocked up already. So I have like from 1 to 7 already kind of mocked up and kind of laid out, even in the game engine. I'm just going through now and picking out his key elements and kind of trying to bring some level of detail to them. How long does an entire level take? An entire level could take you, if you're just storming through it, just creating assets on the fly, according to the story, and you already have kind of like a concept art and some layout sketches. It takes me, a level will take me about maybe a week to 2 weeks. A week to 2 weeks. So it could take you from a week to 2 weeks to kind of put everything together and kind of have everything there. But then I do things in phases. So I go back and after that initial burst, I go back and start adding more detail to things and put more attention on certain things. It's kind of like this right here, like what I'm doing right now. Let's see here. Let's go 50 on those lights. Let's give those lights a different color. Right now they are like this blue. Let's go more white. I'm gonna drop it back down like so. So if we turn these lights out, what do we get? We get nothing, right? So if we just turn them up a little bit, something like that. Let's turn these lights red. A disco ball. Yeah, exactly. It's a disco ball. Doom, 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 doom. So if you have blue, the opposite end of the spectrum is that. Let's try that. If we go red, then it looks completely evil, right? So red equals evil guy. Maybe it should be inverted, right? So maybe it should be, the inversion of this would be go a little more towards that for the environment. Let's give it like a touch of that purple. And for this orb, maybe that orb is the red, right? Well, we don't have red in this game. We have a little orange. So let's do that. Oh wow, look how that completely engulfed the... So yeah, this is a balancing game. Let's do something like that. Let's see, what's that? 100. Put a little bit of that in there. Let's go a little bit something like so. Okay, I think this is more impactful. According to discrimination theory. Yeah. I bet you. Let's see if we could get that orb a little bit brighter. This is just for rendering, right? So, I mean, God knows if we could replicate this in engine. Pretty sure we can. Okay, so I like that, but we don't really have red we have a little bit of red, but not that much in the game. You know, you want to use red very sparingly. Okay, so this is just really a mock-up. So we got that, and I know what's supposed to happen here. What's supposed to happen here is we need can we punch that? Can we punch that up some more? Yeah, I think we can. Like, let's go 200 on that. I think that works. Okay, so let's stick with that. We got the sunlight coming in. Okay, let's take a screenshot now. So we got the spill of the light over here. Yep, we got orange, and probably the light could be a little more blue. Right, that orange and teal. Is this a paid job? Not as yet. This is my project. This is my personal project. So if I'm paying myself. Yeah, so I guess it's a paid job. I haven't paid myself yet, and no one has bought the game or anything like that. I don't think there's anything out there as yet for anyone to buy for the game as yet. I guess I have been paying myself for some months. Yeah, that's exactly. Yep, I'm the main div on it. So far, I wasn't at first, but I slowly became the main div as you know, other people got occupied. So I was like, you know what, guys, you know, you guys could, you know, like, it's me and my brother. I was like, hey, you could go ahead and do what you have to do. You know, I got some stuff here I could work on in the meantime, and at the same time, I'm doing a little bit of coding, which I'm not really the greatest. His strength is more of the coding, and he's crazy, right? He can read white papers and just implement all kinds of stuff. But I figure, like, you know, if I could do as much as I can, you know, if things work out, you know, as according to plan, if I could hand certain things back to him, he'll be able to, like, polish things up or make it even better or whatever. So yeah, so it's a small thing. Yeah, you know, it's a hobby / you know, like a long time dream that I'm working on, kind of thing. Just trying to make it as you know, as cool as possible, like at least what's in my mind's eye. And hopefully other people would find it cool. That would be, and if not, you know, well, at least I tried, right? So let's see here. So I got this. Okay, so let's make a screenshot now. I'm gonna take a little screenshot, 'cause I have some ideas here, and I think I want to run it through. Let's see what's going on here. I think I want to drop some paint on this, just to see what's up. I'm gonna take a screenshot of the more interesting part of the screen, like so. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if people don't like it or they find it boring or whatever it is, it's not for you. I mean, there's a bazillion games out there, you know. But I think you're right, man. Like, I totally agree with you. And even with anything that you do, you know, because you know a lot of people are like into music or into different things, you know, whatever that is, you know. Yeah, you know, I mean, you gotta at least, you know. As far as I'm concerned, at least, you know, if you have an idea. Whoa. Oh, I think I kind of flew out here. If you have an idea, at least you owe it to yourself to give it like a shot. give it your best foot forward, right? So like I've worked really hard for many years and saved some money and that kind of thing. So this is me. I'm an artist first, right? So that's kind of like my thing. But let's just use the camera here so we don't lose the. Okay, try and tell a story a little bit. So like this guy walks in here. Yeah, there will always be naysayers, right? Even in AAA games, people like diss them. Have you ever heard of a game called Anthem? I think BioWare made it. Actually, at the end of the stream, I would actually play the Anthem. They have like a trailer that they made for the game. I'll play it. And actually, a special effects wizard called Neil Blumkin did a live action trailer for the game. It was a AAA game by BioWare, and people dogged it so much, and it just got so much negativity that BioWare stopped developing it. Among other things, I think they had other reasons for not developing Anthem anymore. But people didn't have anything good to say, and hey, yeah, don't have other ways to waste their time. Yeah, it's easy to look at something and say it sucks than to actually try to do it yourself. So I'm like a gamer, and I figured, rather than saying that this suck and that suck, hey, let me see what skills I got, and let me make something that I think might not suck, which could suck for a lot of people. Yeah, I like your line of thinking, Michel. I like the way you think. Oh. Okay, let's grab a screenshot of this again. Selection. Okay, I'm gonna come up from here. Alright, so the guy is watching this. I have a feeling everything needs to be a little bit darker, but it's okay. Maybe in the actual game itself will be like a setting. It could be any lighting environment in here actually. The skylight gives it more light. Then we have the strip lighting. What game engine? So at first we used the Blender game engine, which was because we've been working on the game for a while, as a hobby. So we're using the Blender game engine, playing around and that kind of thing. But now it shifted the engine. We shifted the engine at the beginning of last year to the Godot engine. So right now it's in Godot. This gate, building. C++ is scary. Yeah, it's scary. What was the cause of the migration? Wow, another good question. So, hold on here. Really good questions. Yeah, so the reason why we migrated to the Godot engine is one, first of all, I'm not trying to make the answer long, but I gotta give you a little backup here. So first of all, one of the things is that we are Linux-based studio. So everything that, if you notice my desktop here, it's Linux, right? It's Linux Mint that I'm using. So we've been like trying to do a project like this using software available for Linux. Some paid software and some free and some open source, right? And we're really into that whole ecology of of free software and freedom and all that sort of stuff. And the Blender game engine, it's free and it came with Blender, but you know, I don't know if you know about Blender, that it once had a game engine. Now it doesn't. But the game engine lives on as a separate version of Blender called UpBGE, and we were using that, and it was going pretty good. But at the same time, the way that we structured everything is kind of dependent on, you know, free developers to put certain features in there, and it was just taking a while, and you know, it got really complex actually, you know, doing it that way, and there's a lot of moving parts, right? So you're not only modeling and creating assets in Blender, but yeah, let me continue moving here. You're not only modeling and creating assets in Blender, but you're also coding in it, and you're doing a bunch of stuff in it, which is great. So cool that Blender could have done that stuff. But it kind of like when you're doing production, you kind of get fatigued that way because you're not breaking away from that one program, and it, you know, the complexities are there. But these are no excuses. This is just personal to us, you know. And so when Blender discontinued it and put it in UpBGE, we try and porting it over to UpBGE, porting the game over. So right now, the one on Steam right now is a Blender game engine. If you launch it, you'll see it looks very different from what I play on here. And we decided to go to Godot because Godot is also a free Linux-based game engine, completely free, with no strings attached, no matter how much money you could make with it or not or whatever, you know. And it's also coded in GD script. Also you could use GD script, which is a kind of like a version of Python, and the Blender game engine used Python. So some of the same kind of concepts and things that we got accustomed to script-wise, we could do it in Godot. And the Godot development is getting pretty good. Like, they just released Godot 4, and the rendering engine in that is almost like what you're seeing here in Blender Cycles. So that was a long explanation, but that's why we switched over, because we thought Godot would have been better, and we wanted to break up how we produce this, right? So we're not fatigued. We're just staying in the same engine. Okay, let's do something cool here. I have an idea. Save this. Yeah, so sorry for the long explanation, but that's kind of what happened. You asked really good questions. Hey, that's awesome. Very good, awesome. I'm just doing this just to break up the. Not that anyone needs to ask a ton of questions. I'm just livening it up a bit. We'll clap here. Well, yours definitely special. Wow. That's great. You'll fit right in here. Okay, so what I'm doing now, guys, let's just jump on the Wacom here real quick. That's just for me, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Is this a single pixel? Am I gonna compose the music too? If I have to, yeah, I will. You know, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. But that's two different heads, you know, like coding is a different head, doing art is a different head, you know, like and doing music is a different head. So you know, I try to approach these things from different angles. I actually made some songs related to this game already. I could play some of them if you guys are. I have one or two songs that's a little bit related to Soul 3000. Although I think it needs to be revamped. I don't want to have to do everything, but and if I can't pay anyone, then kind of like have to. I have to do as much as I can, right? Sounds like an impossible feat, but you gotta start somewhere. Yeah, if I could collaborate with someone who's really good at doing scores and stuff, that'd be great too. You know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I haven't like composed anything specifically, but I've played around with some I make beats and stuff just for fun, so I make rap beats for fun, so and that's just a form of me also getting accustomed to getting accustomed to like a MIDI sequencer and that kind of thing to make to make tunes, that could be in the game, Yeah, that was my big idea right there. I think the stroke here is stupid. I'll get rid of that. Usually to the ground, so yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're about fair share of electric guys in the game. You know, concept art is just to inform and not to actually make pretty pictures. Let's see here. At least in my mind's eye, that's what it's for. And that's what we ever used it for in the past or anything. It could look pretty too. Oh, you never use the Gimp? What do you use? Do you use like Photoshop? Or have you ever used Photoshop? I've used Photoshop for years, like professionally, and I just learned how to use the Gimp when I was at home. You know, with the whole Linux thing. It's not bad. Paint.net and photo. Yeah. Oh, I remember Paint.net. Wow. Yeah, for sure. Paint.net. Wow. I remember that thing. You know, you need if you want to use Photoshop, you need a subscription to Adobe. Which is not bad, I mean, if that's a thing, you know. Okay, so yeah, use Paint.net more often because what you usually do is just graphic design. Yep, and a few raster edits. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Let's have some fun. Let's dump this into Stable Diffusion and see what it'll give us. Just want to make sure I have a good size here. Let's see here. Scale image. No, once you know, like my sizes are all off. Let's fix that. Go with a square size, it's all good. Make sure our guy's in the photo there to this side here. Just frame it a little bit more like so. This is directly centered. If you go off center like that, what does that do? I think that's good. You gotta know your framing. Let us save this. Okay. Inspiration when I'm bored finding reference. Hey, there's no judging here. Definitely, I agree with you. AI is good for generating reference. It's also good for generating variations, which is what I'm going to try to do here. Let's pull up that image. Let's pull up that image right here. Yeah, it's good for generating inspiration and stuff like that. And yeah, variations. Yep, I totally agree. Okay, so let me get Stable Diffusion running here. Exactly, it's definitely not a finished product. It's definitely a tool. Like, I remember one time, you know, in some of the earlier streams that I had on here, was basically me doing the concept art for all the bad guys in the game. So if you want to see what that's like, you can look back at some of the older videos here, and you'll see me like actually doing concept art for some of the bad guys. And I used AI as an interim, as a way to give me different variations on my drawings and sketches. And I think someone came in and they were like, "What do you think about AI? Is it gonna like take away our jobs? And do you think it's not good?" And I was like, maybe for some people it might, because I know the mentality of some bosses and stuff, like the way some executive people think. But I think it's gonna be kind of short-lived, and in the end, you're still gonna need somebody who's an artist to actually even make something good out of even AI. You know, it's just a tool. So I agree with you. Okay, let's launch Stable Diffusion here. I'm just going through here, making sure get my parameters up. Let's launch the web. One in terminal. That's my bad. Yeah, replace the CEOs instead. It's funny. Actually, the last place I worked, it had a really nice CEO, man. He like, so far, like all the CEOs, like, you know, the job that I worked at, like up to like a year or two ago, up to 2 years ago, you know, was an architecture engineering firm, and the CEOs from my time there, I've been there for like way over like 12 years, 12 to 13 years. I've been working there like, you know, all my adult life, and all the CEOs that passed through there was actually pretty good guys. Like, I'm not lying to you. Like, they remember my name. You know, they know from the cleaner to the person that's the top level engineer. You know, and you know, it was a real pleasure, man. You know, when you see decent people, it's a real pleasure to work for them. Or to work with them. you know, to work together with them. That's what I should say. Okay, here we are.
For my next trick, I will get a real offer to sell this car
Nope.
in less than 2 minutes.
It's not really magic.
Okay, I'm gonna just have some music playing in the background here. Okay, guys. So let's see here. Stable diffusion. Yeah, that's definitely true. You know, I think it was such a high stakes place where I worked that he couldn't afford to like be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy, I don't mean to sound like that, but you know, like there's no room for screwing around and being mean or being on a power trip. The guy was extremely humble. And he got the job done. He made a lot of money for the company. He made sure the employee satisfaction was like at the top level. He tried to even be somewhat moral, which is kind of lacking these days. You know, he was under a lot of pressure. You know, and that's, you know, he did good, at least by me. Yeah, man. I realize now that I left there 2 years now, and I'm realizing that that's a kind of hard thing to find. Okay, we got to go into image to image. Can I drop this in here? Okay, guys, let me switch over to Stable Diffusion here. Okay, let's take it a step at a time here. I wasn't the architect. I used to work with engineers. I was more of the visualization guy, right? So everything you see me doing here, using 3D Studio Max, I did a lot of video editing. I did a lot of 3D modeling and simulation. That's where like the whole game thing came into be, because I would take their plans and make it into actual, like, you know, what they call simulations, but it's actual games that they could walk through buildings and walk around towns and stuff. I was the guy who gathered all that data and made it so that they can interact with the stuff. And then I made pictures, and yeah, so like all what I'm doing here is just years of me doing this almost every day. It's just right now I'm doing it to to an idea that I have, instead of real world you know, real world buildings and places, which takes a lot of pressure off of it, you know, makes it more fun. Because lives are not at stake, right? You know, if you do something wrong, like a building could collapse or people could go flying off a highway or something, you know. So, you know, you gotta. So this is a lot. This is a lot more fun, and hanging out here on Twitch, you know, talking with people like yourself and everyone else, you know, it's definitely a fun thing. Okay, so let's change the description here. So my description here is for like the enemies that we're doing. So let's see here, a photo, right? Cinematic film still of a futuristic military industrial, not robot, right? I'll put room, right? Let's do that. With no detail hands. Let's leave hard surface. Let's put with glowing orb, with electric, glowing orb in center. Let's make that one sentence there. Hard surface shading. Let's see, highlight saturation. Stick with a purple color. High saturation. What website is this? So this is a local version of Stable Diffusion that I have. So you could go on, like, I think it's Hugging Face, and you know, and some of these other sites, and they'll point you to like a GitHub that has, you could actually get, this is off of GitHub, so you can actually get like an address, and it'll give you the application itself to run on your computer. A lot of people don't do it because their computers, you know, don't have enough cores and it's not powerful. They rather just do it off, you know. But I have a rig here because, you know, because of my previous job, so I could run, you know, have it run on it. Let's see, intricate details. Yep. Straight, clean, hard edges. Yep. Hyper realistic. Let's take away lifelike texture. Let's leave Unreal Engine detail 3D rendering. Rich color, high dramatic. Yep. Resolution. Extremely luminous, bright design. Let's leave that in for now. The negative prompts, I don't think it would apply to this, but let's just leave it out with all the negative prompts for now. What else do I need here? I need something different. So this is passing it through something called Disco Elysium. Let's see here. Let's go with clarity. Okay, I'm going with clarity model. I'm gonna have to open up my folder here just to kind of take a peek here of some models. There's a model that allows you to get like tech lines and panels. Let's see what that'll look like. Let's see here. It's a Laura. Okay, yeah, here you go. It's right here. So this is to give me some little tech lines and little detail things. Let's see if that'll work. Let's do that. That mecha one. Let's minimize this for now. You know what? Let's put in the negative prompts. Duplication, mutilation. No, let's not. I'll just run it first. And okay, let's come here. Just gonna change this up. Gonna go 704 by 704. This works on my machine. See here, 3. We're in 3 different versions to look at, and okay. So the denoise strength, I know for a fact, needs to be a lot lower. See if I could remember off the top of my head. Let's go 3 on that. CGF scale is fine. Let's leave the samples at 20. Hey, let's just see what we get, guys. I'm gonna hit run here on this this little image here of you know, of the inside room, and see what Stable Diffusion does. It mightn't do anything. It might look horrible. Okay, so it's running. If you look here on the green part here, you'll see the progress right here to the left of the screen. Oh yeah, and you can see it right here in this blue bar right here too, in the middle of the screen. So we got our little guy there for scale. He's looking at this big, dangerous reactor thing. I think this is a cool place to fight a boss, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I ran out of memory. Hold on here. Let's make this at 700. See if that'll. Let's generate it again. Maybe ran out of memory because I'm streaming. We close Blender down. Oh, ran out of memory again. Hold on here. Gonna have to make this even smaller. Let's go 600 on this. Let's try that. Ooh, okay, I gotta try something here. Let's unload, free up VRAM. Reload that. Oh, am I in Ghost Mix? Oh, am I end up? Oh, let's go back to clarity. That's probably why. Okay, let's try it again. Oh wow. Hold on here. Let's see what's going on. Let's go down to 512. It'll run 512. I don't know why it's... Let's go. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I need more than 512 though, but let's see what 512 gives us. Oh wow. Look at that. Okay guys. Man, that's hot. Look at this one. It made like what I have like a bazillion times hotter. See the paneling? Okay, I'm getting excited here. Let's try some more. We need a bigger size. If we get a bigger size, it'll look better. I don't know why it's hitching like that. Let me see here. Let's try it now. Oh, it's going. It's going at a bigger size. No, I'm actually going to go in and texture the yeah, I'm gonna go in and texture the actual thing, and try to make it as close to as any concept art or anything that we could come up with. That's always been my the way that I do it. Oh wow, that totally crapped out. So let's see, let's go 700 again. Run that. So last time 512 worked, 600. The only thing about 512, it doesn't really give you like a really nice clean result, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Out of memory, CUDA is trying to allocate GPU's total capacity is 4 gigabytes. So yeah, it's doing this because of, let me try something here. Let me try flushing this again. One more time, guys. Flush that. Flush. Let's try counterfeit. I know counterfeit does really good, and it's probably should be light enough. Or anything AI can come up with. Yeah, you know, I like the variations, right? So like, you know, just running it through here, it kind of like how it just try to suggest paneling to me, and it try to suggest what? Okay, what's going on here? Hold on. I bet you if I restart it, I'm gonna come in here. I'm just gonna grab my description. Let's no. Yeah. So I did 512. Let's go. Let's go 550. Let's see to what point is it gonna break. Oh, you took computer science instead? Oh, that's great. I was actually thinking about going back like to college to do computer science myself. Do you have any advice for me? Oh, I like what counterfeit did. I saw my entire curriculum and it's just then teaching me programming for 4 years. Oh. How did that? So how did it work out? Did you? I see you said C++ was a nightmare there, so let's pull back on this a bit. Go back for clarity. Okay, max. Try setting max split size. Remember that's 200. Let's go back. Let's go to max split size even smaller. Oh, okay, I understand. Wow, this stupid thing is out of memory. Go back here. Maybe it should be multiples of 2 or something. Okay, that seems to be running. Whew. I quit again. So it needs less than this? Let's try that. I'm stuck at 512? Yeah, the minimum recommended GPU is 4080. Yep. Yeah, I have one lower than that, so that's fine. You know, I do what I could. I think it's just because I'm running OBS here to stream. I think it's taking up my memory. Wow, it's sticking me at 512. Let's try that. Wow. Yeah, I'm stuck at 512. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. You know, it doesn't have to be super clean like the other stuff, but you know, it's fine. This will work. I'm gonna lessen this down. Put 2.5 on that. Oh, let's see here. Sampling, that's fine. Maybe sampling could be a little less. Let's go to that. Let's run it on one more time. I like the fact that they did this rounded thing here. I think that that works. Let's see, let's come here. For lightning. Let's run that. Okay, it's a little bit better. You know what? I'm gonna run these. Let's run these negative prompts in here and see if that'll kind of get it looking. I think you could get it to look a lot cleaner. Run that. Let's look at the sampler steps. Don't too many steps. Yes, run that. I like it's hinting that the floor should be red. I'm kind of liking that a little bit, even though that's light. But it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hinting at some color here. No, I'm gonna just put this back, put this at 25 maybe, get a little more sampling. Run that. Yo, maybe the pedestal has a ready mission. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, kind of kept the angular, just give it like a soft bevel. I'm digging that idea. It looks very, you know, some of this paneling look very Star Warsy, which is fine. You don't have to use everything in this, we just have to get some ideas from it. Let's go 30 on that. Let's go back to 3 on this, 0.3, and see what we have for negative prompt here. Yeah. Just textures, you know. If I go into texturing this, it'll do a lot. Definitely. You know, just color grading. You're right. You know, I never underestimate the power of like good texturing. I just want to see what it would give me off the just, you know, if I just threw this at it. I like the hint. I like the fact that it's hinting that I round off, you know, this hard edge here, which I didn't think would work. I'm trying not to make things too soft. I think it might work if I just give it a bevel. Let's see here, where else? Okay, let's run this one more time. At least I'm getting 512, so I'm happy with that. Probably a bit of bloom and oh yeah, you can, yep. Yeah, can the out, yeah, the exterior and all that, yep. Absolutely. I mean, all of these things are very much untextured. So like, it's actually adding like little greeble textures in here. You know. I'm looking at this. I like the vibe of this. Oh yeah, definitely. I think it'll juxtapose because we have a lot of soft edges as you land, and when you get near a boss, definitely get into more structured environments. That feels dangerous. Yeah, exactly. Those sharp edges, everything like that. Yeah, yeah. Point on, spot on. Let's go. Let's drop back down to 20 here. Look at this. I just want to see the CG scale here. I think all that's fine. Let's go ahead and let's tune up this panel thing here a bit. Let's go zero. Let's go 5 on this. Let's see what that does. Let's add a little more paneling in there. Maybe that might be too much. I'm thinking I might have to back away. Yeah, let's back away here. Let's go 2 on this. Let's run it again. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Sharp edges. Everything is a foreshadowing for a dangerous environment. Yeah, like you're reaching something dangerous, right? The environment definitely lends to the story, for sure. You're telling part of the story through the environment. Okay, let's pick one here. Nope. Let's drop this back down to 4. Let's go to 5. Let's generate one more time. Let's see here. Let's see the description. High cinematic, futuristic military industrial room with a glowing orb emitting electric lightning in center. Okay, now we get into, I think, the feel of something here. Okay, let's go with one of these here. Let's look at the door itself. So no for, we're gonna pick this one here. Let's look at the door. So this one and this one. Pick that real quick, save. Save. Let's do one more. You have to sleep in a few minutes. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks for giving, for asking the question. Yeah, I definitely enjoy you being around here. This is really cool. You know.
ありがとうございました。
I think arigato is goodbye. I'm not sure, right? So yeah, it was nice having you. I'll see you in a little bit then. Enjoy your rest. Enjoy your rest for sure. Yeah. Miso, man. Awesome. So I noticed it carried the save that one. Let's do one more. And then we'll combine everything into the final image. Let's give it a little more control. Okay. Ooh, I'm liking that. Oh, I like this one. That's interesting. So we're gonna save this one here. Yeah, this one here. Alrighty. So let's combine those together in the Gimp and then see what we got. I'm gonna close this here. Let's look at one of these. Oh, look at this. Original of originals. Let's open that. The Gimp there. Let's go into the Gimp and check it out. I'm liking what I have here with this one. So let's put a mask on this. I like the back here. I like the texture it gave outside there. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's use this one here. Okay, let's use this one. do another mask on this one. Yeah, I think this works a little bit. This is what we got. Okay, this is a good goal to shoot for right here. yeah, I think that this is a good it's a good you know, like a good image of what this thing could look like. Okay guys, so as you see, we didn't get to actually do the texturing, but I'll definitely get to that tomorrow. You know? I'm a little fatigued, and you know, sometimes it's good to kind of see what other options is out there as far as texturing is concerned. You know, by using AI as a tool. Okay, let's save this. The gate building interior. This is the original. And this is the updated. Yeah, so this is what we started out with over here. Right, that's what we got straight for out of Blender. And this is what we're going to change it to. We're going to try to get it to this. We won't say we change it, we try to get it close to this. Right here. Once we start texturing and lighting everything. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm going to call that a stream for now. I know it's been a little stagnated there. But we did, you know, embellish the interior a little bit more. Right? Let's go back here into let's close these things here. We have the original, we have a variation. We fire our Blender one more time. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, just need a few tweaks here and there and some texturing, and I think we'll be on point. Or just leave it for the texturing, basically. Okay. I don't believe anything else could go on the exterior, but if you're afraid to run that through an AI program, it might show us some more hints of what we could do, which is always a good thing. The interior floor is worked out. I think so far is looking pretty alright. So let's take a look at this floor one more time here. Oh, what if I do a cut here? Let's just leave that out, leave that alone. I'm not gonna do anything else here. Oh, wait a minute. Could possibly cut this across. Grab this as a outer trim element to give it a little bit more. Okay, let's do that. Let's go K again. Cut. Okay, here we go. Cut that. Yeah, I'm going to separate this just so that it's a separate element. Anything we could do to break it up outside of the texture, we're going to do that. Alright, one last thing here. Put this here, scale this. Well, let's just give it a scale. The reason why I'm putting this here, I literally don't want I don't know a guy going down into here. Maybe it should be in an edge here, like so. Okay, let's fix this. Let's bring this down slightly. Let's bring it up a little bit. Okay, let's take one more. Let's take I just want to see what that looks like. Okay, so that's the, yeah, I needed a railing there. You can't go like falling to your doom like that. And now I can make it look a little more dangerous by making that slope into there a little steeper. The slope at the hole right here. Just make that slope a little bit steeper and a little smaller too. Let's bring that ring in a bit. Okay, let's grab Z. Something like so. Just make sure this is as low as we can get it. Top view. Frame here. I should have scaled this together, but I forgot. Okay, got it. Let's grab Z, let's bring it down a bit. Okay, just in case. Punch a hole through there. Okay, let's put a box right there. We can bring our guy there. So let's just throw a quick box there. See if our, yeah, so our character is not going across that. You know, a guy looks a lot smaller than the box. Make him a little bit bigger. A little bit, not too much. Actually, it's good height, so let's just leave that like that. This is the box. I can make this part here a little bit higher. Something like so, a little more angular. A little more in the way. Can we scale this in? Does it catch that edge right there? Let's make it just a little bit larger. Grab Z. Alright. Okay. I think that works. Yep. Yeah, so that works out on the ground there. So, you know, we can't just have the guy dropping into a hole. I always thought that very frustrating in some levels. Okie dokie. Alright guys. Let's see what this top view here looks like. I'm liking that. Little bird's eye of the room. See, now it actually like lends, you know, you can actually see where the ground looks a little plain. Like I almost wish like I could cut into, maybe cut into here somehow. You know, cut these like platforms like that here, platform like that there, almost like a catwalk going out to that thing. And then there needs to be something blocking it, and I think it might block everything. Maybe a catwalk out this way and it drops. You know, I'm always into trying to do interesting shapes for you to navigate, you know, as a player. You see here. Let's just try something to see what it looks like. Let's actually grab this part here. This part here. Oh boy. Aha, so that's how I can do it. So I could get the same effect I want if I just bring this all the way up. So I just need to just delete these. Yep, I don't need to actually overlap. Okay, got it. Delete faces. And let's get that lovely shape. Just like so. Yep, that's all I wanted. Do that again. Okay, gives it a little that bit more interest. Yeah, the boats definitely have to be able to navigate around all this stuff. I almost wish I could give it some kind of verticality also, but I don't think I'll be able to pull all that off. At least not for this. This is just a singular building, the gate building. Thank God we'll be using it throughout. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. We embellish that some more. Can I embellish the outside here more? That's the ticket. That's the question, right? I think we could leave it so it is, you know, so there's always not some kind of undulation going on, right? Unless, like, when you come here, you go up another level and then you suddenly drop down into this level here. That could be a thing. Well, unless you completely drop to like this center point here. We should leave that flat. Okay guys, let me try to update this a little bit. That's cool. We don't need all this, we don't need the skirt to be that long. Let's grab this. Let's go something like that. Let's go double the width. Okay. It's not too bad. Okay, so definitely tomorrow we'll focus on just getting this thing textured. I'm not going to add any more to it or anything like that. I think just leaving it plain like this and texturing this, and then of course, as I said before, I'm not guaranteed to show a bunch of stuff related to me working strictly on Solve 3000 all the time. Most of it has been. We may break away at a different time to just do some drawing and that kind of thing. Maybe related to this game, or maybe related to just anything xsinicky, man. Anything that you know would like to see me do as far as art or anything like that, or anything we could collaborate on together. So, you know, I'm gonna continue working, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in. You know, yeah, let's keep the excitement level up, man. I'll see you guys in a little bit. God bless. I hope everything works out in your good endeavors. I'll see you later. xsinick out. Shouting out, you know, me also for coming in and chatting me up. You okay, guys? See you.